Hello everyone, I'm Garima Vajpayee. I'm back with another fresh topic today. I'll be talking about bridging the skill gap in the thriving volatile technology market and the role of technology leaders. So let's quickly get going on this topic. It's a very interesting topic. As you know, I start my discussions with highlighting, perspectives from different reports and different organizations. So I've picked up Robert Half Talent Solution this time, and a report by Robert Halfman Talent Solution indicates that 48% of technology leaders feel the impact of skill gap is more apparent today compared to an year ago. Their new report highlights factors contributing to the skill gap, tech leaders' top priorities, as well as strategies for building future forward tech teams. So, the technology leaders' top priorities include security of IT systems and information for 2024. They have also highlighted the need of bridging the gap of skill gap for AI, ML, and automation initiatives, and it is apparent with generative AI capabilities and the initiatives around AI and ML cropping up in every space in the technology landscape. Cloud projects, it's not new. Cloud projects have been here since some time now. Cloud projects and their initiatives are also one of the key contributors to the skill gap. And the digital transformation projects and initiatives. If you see, many organizations which are also non-tech have been realizing this fact that technology plays a big role in transformation of various industry verticals, and digital transformation is important for these industry verticals, which has been contributing to the talent shortage and the skill gap, with various initiatives and projects being taken up by non-tech players. Um, Also, they highlighted in their report that remote and hybrid work programs and technologies, and for example, ERP or CRM systems implementation or improvements have also contributed to the skill gap because of the changed ways of working. So, having a vision and a talent strategy in place to ensure you can meet long-term business needs is critical. It is said by Dobra, Managing Director for Technology Talent Solutions at Robert Half. So, if you think about if this gap remains fulfilled, what could happen? So, if left unchecked in 2030, that talent shortage could result into $8.5 trillion in unrealized annual revenues. A 2021 Gartner survey of IT executives show that a majority of 64% believe that the ongoing tech talent shortage is the most significant barrier to the adoption of emerging technologies. And what's being taught in engineering schools in sometimes 10 years behind the current tech landscape, as quoted by Subramanian Balasubramaniam, SVP of Strategic Initiatives, HCL Tech. The top reasons for this shortage is multifold, though, because it's not only the education organizations and institutions, it's also candidates lack necessary skills or experience, candidates lack necessary credentials, candidates are not a good fit for your organization, or difficulty meeting candidates' salary expectation and non-salary expectations. There's a widespread kind of ways of working change in the tech industry. So there's a lot of factors contributing to this skill gap. By 2030, more than 85 million jobs might go unfilled because there aren't enough skilled people to take them, according to Korn Ferry. And I'll be dropping down the link of the report by Korn Ferry, and also the report which is indicating these figures. So, moving on, I think I would also like to highlight some perspective from my own journey and my own, what I have learned over years. Technology learning curve is sharp and continual. It requires constant mental agility and focus to learn new skills every day. Thankfully, I found Magic Mind, a mental performance shot. It complements my healthy routine. Magic Mind amplifies my day by supporting elevated mood and motivation to learn. It helps me navigate complex tasks and solve problems swiftly, laying the foundation for a day of productive and meaningful work. Magic Mind comprises of rich ingredients as well, like matcha extract, organic ashwagandha, turmeric, vitamin B2, B3, D3, and vitamin B12. Magic Mind contributes to environmental reforestation programs in Northern California and Amazon rainforest to offset the carbon emissions. One shot of Magic Mind daily gets me focused mentally and clear and motivated me and be productive while reducing my stress. And good news that we have a limited time offer for you to use now that gets you up to 48% off on your first subscription or 20% off on one-time purchases with code LEVECAST20, LEEVECAST 20 at checkout. You can find the link to buy with discount coupon in the description box. You can claim it at https://www.magicmind.com/levicast. So let's get back to the topic and we will explore a little bit more on how technology leaders foresee overcoming the technology skill gap and leadership perspective to keep pace with this technological revolution. Leaders estimate that 58% of the workforce will need to update their current skill set in order to remain relevant in the modern landscape, according to Gartner. The traditional workplace learning methods and businesses have relied on are no longer effective at equipping employees with the skills they need to keep pace. Given this context, making progress is not just about filling immediate gaps, but also about preparing for the future challenges. And, you know, this is not an easy task because there might be a requirement of looking at it from multifold perspective, like what kind of skill gap exists in your organization, what practices do you follow for upskilling employees, and how you can cope up with the increasing skill gap with the market volatility as well as technology progression in short term to long term. So obviously there are many ways to kind of cope up with. I found this very interesting article by PwC, Putting Skills First, a framework for action, and where in this they advocate like a 5 action plan where the first area of action is to identify the current and the future needs of the organization, also assessing the gap, mapping the skills of the employees, and then, as a consequence, articulating skills that needs in job descriptions and also leverage and recognize innovative skill assessment methods, co-developing and co-delivering skill-based training programs with industry learning providers and government, and boost lifelong learning and assess to skill-based learning opportunities, create skill-based pathways for development and redeployment. So do check out their skill first framework by PwC. It is very interesting. It's a report they have done, and I would also drop down it in the link into the drop down box. Overcoming the technology skill gap from a practitioner's perspective, it's also very interesting. I mean, we have talked about the leader's perspective. Now, from an employee perspective, employers actually anticipate a structural labor market churn of 23% of jobs in the next 5 years. So what it means for practitioners, of course, practitioners have to look at the fastest growing roles related to their, what kind of work they are doing and how the technology is driving digitization, sustainability, and what kind of impact these practitioners can see in their existing roles. So the majority of fastest growing roles are technology related roles like AI and machine learning specialist top the list of fastest growing jobs, followed by sustainability specialist, business intelligence analysts, and information security analyst. Future of Job reports by World Economic Forum 2023. The skills that comprise companies report to be increasing in importance. The fastest are not always reflected in corporate upskilling strategies. So obviously there is a responsibility every practitioners could see and what kind of skills would be needed for future jobs like big data analytics, climate change, and environmental management technologies. Encryption and cybersecurity are expected to be the biggest drivers of job growth. Within technology, adoption of big data, cloud computing, and AI features highly on likelihood of adoption. Again, there is another report which was published by the World Economic Forum, and also it talks about future of jobs in 2023. I will also drop down the link in the description box. It talks about the macro trends and the technology that are set to drive a mixed outlook of job creation and destruction in the next 5 years across job categories and industries. So we have talked about some of these job categories like big data analytics is expected to grow and can be a job displacer. Digital platforms and applications also contribute to new job creation as also contributing to some of the work which is already been done by traditional methods can see some impact. E-commerce and digital trade might grow also. Education and workforce development technologies would obviously essentially grow because there is a need of upskilling, and also every organization is seeing that workforce development is needed in the changing times when emerging technology is changing at a fast pace. Encryption and cybersecurity is also expected as creating more jobs. Climate change mitigation technology, alternative energy, greenhouse gases, etc., are like the major portion of it is creating more jobs in this dimension. And cloud computing, of course, cloud computing jobs will also grow. Now, when you talk about the key roles for this transformation, data analyst and data scientist, there is an expected growth in that job profile or role. AI and machine learning specialist. Obviously, there will be a lot of growth in these kind of roles as well. You can see growth in the business development professionals, project managers, accountants and auditors, and general operations management will also stay in as is. So 30 to 35% increase, which is more than 1.4 million jobs in demand for roles such as data analyst and scientist, big data specialist, business intelligence analyst, database and network professionals, data engineers that are driven by advances and growth in adoption of frontier technologies, which rely on big data. So we have talked a lot about the transition and the state of technology and the job market and how it is churning to new jobs, right? How will technology jobs look like in 2030? And this is a very good question. Nobody has a crystal ball at hand. Like a global consulting firm, PwC, released a paper called Workforce of the Future, the competing forces shaping 2030, and which offers an interesting starting point to this conversation. They have dwelled into four worlds. They envision have and broken down into these four categories. The red world, where innovation rules. Some companies and some organizations might take that path, and they are being more innovative. They are trying to kind of create more jobs with creative thinking, innovators of the future. The blue world, whereas the companies where corporate is the king, so obviously they are looking at the capitalist outlook and also ensuring that they have a lot of professionals which can steer the needle for them in the right direction. The yellow world organizations, where humans come first, so obviously human centric technology initiatives, and there is a specific set of organizations which will follow um, subset of these kind of thought process or vision. And the fourth category is the green world where companies would care, right? So all that sustainability initiatives and the technologies which we have talked about in the past, as well as the roles which we have talked about in the past few like minutes, would kind of gain momentum with that. So obviously, we have talked about some of the shifts which we can see. And again, I'm also quoting a report from McKinsey and Corporation titled Skill Shift, Automation and the Future of the Workforce. What they advocate is for that demand of higher cognitive skills such as creativity, critical thinking, decision making, and complex information processing will grow through 2030, and which is very evident with what we have talked about um, lately. Also, I mean, if you think about like how to avoid becoming obsolete in this volatile technology landscape, employees who are generalists will with broad skills but no contemporary areas like cyber, cloud, etc. of subject matter expertise will likely struggle to remain relevant in current or future positions. And this is coming from Cummings, a principal and national leader of IT services at BDO Digital. Those who excel in individual programming languages currently in use may feel a sense of security, but the need to understand multiple languages will grow quickly in the next few years, says Ivan Pechenko, co-founder and deputy CEO of Postgres Professional. At the moment, the IT skill nearing the end of their life cycle includes manual testing, for example, or even SQL. And this is again, I'm quoting Lysak, CEO of Software Institute. He says that these are being progressively replaced by UX and UI cross-functional team members with automated testing skills and cloud-based engineers. So obviously, there are few pointers which can future proof your career, obviously, and bridging that skill gap and fostering that learning curve where we can focus on customized learning path for individuals and learning experience which an individual needs, right, is the call for the hour. Adopting to technological disruptions, enabling a smooth transition into automated processes, navigating the gig economy and flexible work arrangements, and learning the skill to collaborate with the remote first workers, globally diverse pool of workers, is the need of the hour. And unlocking new tools for talent professionals which are already delivering impact. So if you think about generative AI space, for example, so if you're a developer or a tester or even a business analyst, how do you use these new tools and technology for improvement of and effectiveness of what you do? We will also talk about like state of art software development in 2030 and beyond. What will be the state of art and the state of practice of software development by 2030 and beyond? How will AI participate in shaping the future of software engineering? What will be the major problems and challenges by then? And what will be the visionary ideas for overcoming those problems and challenges? Probably it's time to think about that, right? So, some pointers that new methods are prospected to consider to be considered in the software development process, like new and easy and human-friendly software abstraction layers, which could make coding process as easy job for any person. If you see around you hyper assistance, for example, and the suggestions from hyper assistance for improving not only developers effectiveness but also working routine would be essential by 2030. AI systems were envisioned to be used for creating codes by exporting or reusing already existing codes. AI system moderators or developers, but only if they cope up with recent technology, keeping searching for opportunities and embracing the need of skill sets and utilizing from AI as a complementary tool rather than independent software development systems. Also, finding and retaining top software talent will remain significant challenge for fast-growing software development companies. Maintaining high-quality standards amidst rapid growth can be a daunting task. Increasing project volumes and expanding teams may strain quality assurance processes, leading to potential lapses in code quality and testing protocols and overall productivity excellence. Develop and maintaining emerging technology and tools like AI can also become a challenge. And lastly, developing educational programs for software practitioners of future will include more data engineering, AI/ML, NLP concepts. Security will have a special place in the modern courses for software engineers. Now, I would like to recap my journey as well with Magic Mind before closing this talk. Magic Mind is a mental performance shot. It complements my healthy daily routine. And if you're curious to know more about it, please check out in the Dropbox the details of the offer you have. And do stay tuned for my next episode with a new fresh topic. Thank you very much for today. I sign off.